Okay, hi guys, we meet again. So today we are going to proceed to chapter 7 for the topic orienting and training office personnel. Okay, previously we have learned chapter 6 about on how you are going to select a new employees and the sources of employees, which is you have the internal and also the external sources. Okay. So, for this chapter 7, we are referring to the Quibble, page 166 to 167, and also page 173 to 180. And we also refer to our main textbook, which is the Collis and Killing. Not Collis, but this one is additional textbook, which is Collis and Killing, page 145 to 149, and also 184 to 207. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. You have select the new employees, and then what are the next step you need to do as administrative office manager is you need to give an orientation to your employee and also the training. Okay, so in chapter 7 actually we are going to discuss about these two main topics, which is the first one is we are going to have orienting the office staff, and also we are going to give the training to our new selected employees. Okay, so for this video part 1 we are going to discuss about the orienting the office staff. Okay, so actually in the end of this chapter, which is chapter 7, we can describe methods and procedures for orienting and also training office employees. Okay, so now we proceed to the first part, which is orienting the office staff. So, what is organization program? So, organization program actually designed to help employees adjust more readily to the new jobs and to the organization. In other words, you are hiring a new employees. Okay, for example, fresh graduate or a new employees. So that new employees are not familiar with your organization, not familiar with the new job that they are going to do. Okay, that's why we have this organization, the orientation, which is the organization program. And then you need to remember, when you are hiring a new employees especially, you need to have this what we call the buddy system. Okay, so the buddy system is actually a process in which an existing employee is paired with a new employee to help him or her adjust more quickly to your new situation. Okay, if you can remember, for example, when the first time you come to the UITM, you are joining the orientation program, right? Why? Because they want you to familiar with the UITM system, education system. You want the new student familiar with all the what we call the map of the UITM Chungan, where is the classroom, where is the college, where is the cafeteria, okay, and etc. And then you have the buddy system, which is your facilitator, which is your senior. Okay, so this is one example of the buddy system. So the buddy system actually will help you to get familiar with the new job. Okay, next one. So, what are the benefits of orientation? Okay, I want you just to make a comparison what happened if you do not go to the orientation when the first time you come to UITM. Okay, so actually there's a lot of the benefits when you go to the orientation. So the same thing goes to the orientation for the new employee at the new organization and a new job. Okay, the first one, it has a positive impact on employee productivity. Why? Because it makes you familiar with your new job or your new nature and your new organization. Okay, so the next one is employee makes fewer errors. Okay, when you give an introduction, so it will make you less to make less error. Okay, and then employees experience greater job satisfaction. The next one, it will help employees become more familiar with the organizational values, standards, appropriate attitudes, and behavioral patterns. This is happening when the first time you come to UITM, you are familiar with UITM educational what we call the nature. Okay, and then it help employees feel more at home. Yes, I do believe majority of you or some of you are homesick when the first time you come to your ITM. Okay, and then the next one is it enhance their understanding of the nature of their job duties. Okay, that's why we need to have the orientation. Okay, because we want our new employee, our new worker to familiar with their nature of the job. Okay, for example, you are hiring a new accounting, so you want to make sure that your new accounting familiar with the his or her nature of job, which is do this to make the salary, to do the calculation, to make the forecast. Okay, so these are the benefits of orientation. The next one, okay, for this one we are referring to the Quibble page 166 and 167. Orientation checklist. So what is orientation checklist? You need to know the definition of orientation checklist is actually contain items to be covered by the person who is introducing new employees to the firm and their job. Okay, so it's a checklist. Okay, the same thing goes this must say you are conducting an event, right? So you have the checklist, what you need to cover in order for you to complete an event. Okay, so one of the most effective means of making sure the new employees are properly introduced to the firm and do their job. Okay, yes, that's why some of the big organization they have their orientation checklist sometimes in the folder, so all the information about the company, everything is on the checklist, so that you can study first, okay, before you starting your work at the new organization. Okay, so you need to use the checklist properly. Ensure a complete orientation in all details of the firm policies and procedures. Again, this is quite important. You need to know every organization, they have their own policies and procedure. So you need to understand, you need to familiar with the policies and procedure for each organization. Okay, especially when you are working with Petronas, for example. So you need to familiar what are the policies and procedures of Petronas. Okay, so next one. Okay, so actually there are 11 items. Again, I repeat, you have this in your textbook. I think in page I'm going to check it. Okay, so if you have the textbook of Quibble, you have this one on page 166. Okay, the figure 1 checklist, you have 11 items. Again, I repeat, you have 11 items, or in other words, we call it as orientation checklist. Okay, so let's go one by one. The first one is welcome to the department. Okay, this is the first part, and then the introduction to the co-workers. Number 3, the checklist is tour of the department, showing location of work area, department equipment, supply storage, lunch room, conference room, meal, and so on. Okay, it's quite familiar like your orientation when you come to your ATM, right? But the difference is you are studying, but but right now we are discussing about the orientation of a new job with the new organization. Okay, number 4, explanation of important departmental functions and the general flow of work through the department. Number 5, you need to have the explanation of departmental policies and procedures. Okay, we have discussed about this one. So one of the example policies and procedure of the organization, of any organization, is the time cards, which is the punch card, the work hours, how long you are going to work with that company, mostly 8 hours. Overtime, so what happens when you have overtime, you will be paid for overtime. The vacation time, the personal days, sick days or MC, work breaks, what is your work break, maybe 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, lunch hour, salary review, promotion, and so on. You need to know all of this about policies and procedure. Okay, next we continue to number 6. Number 6 is explanation of departmental hierarchical including responsibilities of unit supervisors and department head. Okay, you have learned this one in chapter 2 about the unity of command, change of command. Okay, so it recaps back what you have learned previously. And then number 7 is the explanation of the employee's job title, job description and specification, job duties, accountability and goals. Okay, in chapter 6 you have learned on the job title, job description, also the job specification. Okay, number 8, explanation of how employee should get answer to various types of question he or she may have, especially for those who work as a front not front line, yes, front line, but front line is not the doctors and medical, but front lines of your organization. For example, in the banking system, the person who are working at the counter, we call it as a front line. Okay, and then number 9 is the explanation how tardiness and absence are to be reported and handled. Okay, so it's very important to make sure your attendance to the job, and if you are absent, you need to have a concrete reason why you do not come to the job, come to the work. Okay, number 10, explanation of departmental and organizational policies and procedures regarding safety, health and security matters. And lastly, explanation of pay period and fringe benefits that include the insurance, the retirement, vacation days and also holidays. Okay, so again there are 11 items in the orientation checklist. You need to take a look, especially you are as AOM, administrative office manager, you need to take a look this one, and you need to make sure that your new employee that you have been selected to aware or to acknowledge this checklist. Okay, so the next one, okay, this is what I call the orientation kit. We put it everything there. Sometimes we most of the big organization, they have the orientation kit in the folder, a big folder. Okay, so what is orientation kit? Orientation kit is actually compilation of materials given to the new employees that will aid them in becoming acclimated more readily to their new station. So this is the definition of orientation kit. Okay, so actually what do you have in the orientation kit? So it reminds me, what do you have in your event kit, right? You also have the event kit to make sure that you have completed your event before, after and in the process. Okay, so there are 9 items included in the orientation kits. The first one is the organization chart. Yes, you need to have the organization chart. Why? Because you know who are your top leader, who are your supervisor, who are the another manager in other department. Okay, so you need to have this, and then map of the premises, especially when you are working in the large organization. Okay, copy of employee handbook. Yes, are you familiar with the handbook? Right now you are taking 320, so you have the employee handbook. Okay, for example, and then the copy of the union contract. Okay, this one is depends to the organization. List of fringe benefit, for example, holidays, what we call insurance. Okay, copy of insurance plans. Okay, if your company provided. Okay, and next one, usually insurance plan, they have the what we call so if something happen to you in the job and in the workplace, so you will be covered. Okay, copy of performance appraisal form and outline of the appraisal procedures. Okay, performance appraisal is how your boss give you a rate, appraise you. So this one we are going to learn in chapter 8, our last chapter. And next one is copy of emergency evacuation procedure, and lastly, list of names and telephone numbers of key organizational employees and units. Okay, so that's it. In our we have covered our first part in the orienting of the office part. So I'm going to see you again in video chapter 7 part 2 and part 3.